Hey guys,
Veronica,
Andrew,
and Nate here. We are
Foodies Watching Movies,
a podcast dedicated to
awesome movies,
great food,
and that's about it.
Check us out on the JIC network at www.journeyintocomics.com.
Maybe throw some money over to our Patreon.
So we can eat this week.
And now, your feature presentation.
The following is a Journey into Comics network production.
I'm a dude who likes brews. It's time for Brews with Dudes. Juicy. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning if you happen to be listening to early in the day. Welcome to another episode of Brews with Dudes. I'm your host, Nick Maxon, sitting here once again with Casey Taylor from the North End Pub. How are you, Casey?
Doing well. Thank you, Nick.
Good, that makes two of us at least. Corey Guilford, first-timer. How are you?
Most excellent.
Great. With Corey today is Miss Susan. She doesn't have a mic,
Hello.
but she's part of the team. She's here with us. And then we've also got Mr. Zach Davidson. Zach, how are you?
Beautifully average.
Average. Good. Can't hope for a whole lot more than that. That's why it's called average. So we're just going to jump right into it here. We're doing a tap takeover tonight down at the North End Pub. This is the Leinenkugel. So we, for whatever reason, they decided that they got all these summer beers ready in the cold month of February. That's all right. That's quite all right. I like a lighter beer. So let's just dive right on into it. What do we have first on the menu, Mr. Casey?
The Canoe Paddler.
Canoe Paddler. This is 5% ABV. It's a Kolsch. So let's dive on in and see what we think about it.
Is that how you say it? Because I always feel like I say it wrong. I feel like I always say it wrong.
Kolsch?
I think it's just Kolsch, right?
I think that's right.
I imagine so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Kolsch's are the my go-to beer.
Kolsch's.
Kolsch's.
The Kolsch people.
Kolsch's.
Isn't it like part of Bavaria? Isn't that where it all came from? Like certain hops from a certain part of Bavaria, and that's what makes it a Kolsch.
That would make sense.
That sounds
I think that's right. I mean, I could be way off and just literally making it up. Yeah, totally. There's always Google, but I feel like that's right.
If you have to use hops from a specific area, is that why there aren't very many? Because they're hard to get. I like a really light beer, though. I don't like very many hops, so I'm liking this a lot.
I'm thinking that a Kolsch is a very traditional beer, and hops weren't really introduced until, I believe, 150 some years ago. So in the grand scheme of things, hops are relatively new to the formula.
So someone made a terrible mistake.
It may not be the hops at all. It may just be where it's brewed from. There may be something they use in that area that makes it, like I said, totally. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like I read one time that it was like a certain part of Bavaria brews this type of beer, and that's where it came from.
It really makes sense.
We need to get the R&D department on this shit before we record. It's a decent beer, though. It's for it being. I mean, Leinenkugel is a big company. They do craft things. This is definitely something. If you're a domestic drinker, you could definitely get down on the Canoe Paddler, I think.
I'm triggered by the word canoe. Last time I went canoeing, I fell in the water, was soaked, almost lost my umbrella. It was a terrible time.
Almost
but
lost
the beer
your umbrella.
He's having
much better than
flashbacks.
that experience.
Who goes canoeing and doesn't expect to get wet, though?
I actually went down the entire Wabash, Ohio, and Mississippi rivers from here to Baton Rouge, and we didn't tip over at all. But
No
you're
wetness?
just bad at it.
Wow.
See, I'm on the other side of it, where the one time that I went canoeing, my partner decided he was going to change his shoes and knocked us over 10 minutes into a 4-hour canoe trip, spilling all of our beer, food, and everything we owned down the river.
Whoa.
So I, too, had a bad canoe trip.
Well, damn.
That sounds awful.
No, it sucked. It completely sucked. While he was telling, yeah, I literally was like, please don't do that. Please let's just steady it. And
And then what's he do?
he changed his shoes, lost his shoes. So people were like, we're 50 feet up, just being like, "Yay, river beer coming our way!" Just grabbing beers. They just floated
So
away.
hold on. This is called the Canoe Paddler. What we just tried. Sounds like
Yes.
our biggest problem with it is the name. Like as a group, I like the name though.
I think it's a good summer name. I think it's all right. I just had a bad canoe trip. I won't blame the beer. Kevin Smith.
Yep. Canoes are the enemy.
I didn't really connect the fact that like we said, they were all kind of summer beers, and it's called Canoe Paddler. You could drink this in the canoe, and you could drink it all day, I think.
And if you stay upright, you don't lose your beers.
Unless you lose them, yes.
Yeah.
You'll get dehydrated if you go on a long enough canoe trip.
Oh,
Like,
I found
you will.
out.
So
I went-
that might be part of the.
I like going tubing, and when I go tubing, we bring coolers, and we get very inebriated when we do so.
Putting it mildly.
But we also bring little turkey sandwiches, so it kind of balances it out. I think we're pretty much done with the Kolsch. Why don't we jump on into the Berry Weiss?
This is the wife's favorite Leinenkugel product.
It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. It's only 4.7%.
I'll have to remind myself. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Looking on the bottle here, what do we have? A Weiss beer brewed with honey, blackberry juice, and other natural berry flavors. Well, I'm also seeing, because you have to really stare at this, the text is really small. It says that Leinenkugel was established in 1867.
Holy cow.
Shit. That's old school. That's old school. All right, well, let's dive in, shall we? That is juice. That
Very
does
tasty.
That doesn't taste like beer at all. That's just
This
juicy.
is my favorite one. I don't even like beer. I'm just here because I'm hoping the alcohol content will help keep my appendages from freezing off. So
Yeah, this will do
I
it.
love this though. This is wonderful.
You could. It does not taste like beer at all. It just tastes like blackberry juice. It's phenomenal. The color is awesome too. It's got a pinkish kind of hue. It's a little different every different way I look at it.
Yeah,
but
it's real nice. Tastes just as nice too. Reminds me of why I liked it.
Yeah, it's actually crushable too.
It is
You
totally
yeah, you can drink a
crushable.
lot of those.
Because
Totally.
it doesn't taste sugary, is
No.
the thing.
Yeah,
But
it
it's just very juicy.
I really dislike when a drink tastes syrupy, and this doesn't have that, which is nice.
Right.
I'm more reminded of my father's blackberry pie. That was his favorite type of pie. So
I do like
Thumbs
that.
up.
Sorry. Again, the color I do like is in my mind I thought it was going to be a lot darker than the way it tastes, and when you pour it out, it's got a lighter color.
That was phenomenal. That was one of the first craft beers that I ever drank. I think I discovered that, and I went wild on it for a month or two, maybe 3 months, and then I discovered 312's, the wheat beer.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was the first real one I got into. I think shortly thereafter I discovered Gumball Head, and then it was all downhill or uphill from there, depending on how you want to look at it. All right, I think we're ready for
you're
the next
always
one.
looking at it downhill.
Always. We're jumping on to the grapefruit shandy. This one's 4.2.
Huh.
This one's it's hardly alcoholic. I wonder if it's going to be as crushable.
Let us see.
Let's jump in.
Oh, wow. That's super light.
Very grapefruity. It's got a yellowish hint to it.
It looked like it'd be very juicy, and honestly, it's pretty juicy.
It falls into the crushable category.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
totally.
Yeah, I'm reminded of the time. I mean, as a kid, I would just devour grapefruits. I'd eat a whole grapefruit by myself, stick that thing in a bowl, spend 15 minutes getting the juice off of my face.
Put a bunch of sugar on it.
Only when my parents were around. But, yes. But yeah, taken right back to that moment.
I feel like I could mix this in with my mom's grapefruit juice and she wouldn't notice.
Right.
Like, it's good.
Totally.
It's tasty.
It would totally go under the radar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Again, no offense at all, but there's not much of an alcohol taste to it. It just tastes good. It's juicy.
I could drink
Yeah.
that beer with a salad.
Some people like that,
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
When you can't taste the alcohol content, some people love that. Just
Absolutely.
slam it.
Absolutely. It makes it a little dangerous, but
Very dangerous. It's a loaded gun.
Peligroso.
Peligroso.
Peligroso. So what is
When you say it makes it dangerous, I mean, to me that just makes it palatable. I really don't like a strong alcohol taste, and I really like this.
Yeah, I use the term dangerous to describe a beer that you can drink a lot of and not realize you're drinking a lot of
This
beer.
is more like I can drink some of it, so like at all.
Yeah,
That's just good.
yeah.
I have a low
Yeah.
tolerance.
That one was pretty good. These are all relatively easy to drink.
These are all pretty solid. Yeah, very easy to go down.
The Kolsch definitely had, a little bit of a beer bite to it, but
Yeah.
so far I feel like we're just sampling juices.
It was very tasteful though. Like it wasn't like too bitter or anything like that. It was.
This
I'd
makes
say
it
a solid
easy
medium.
if you're trying to get drunk. You don't want to have to work your way through it, because I remember when I was first starting to drink, and you would get the dirty 30 of the cheap beer, and it tasted awful. It tasted so bad, but you powered your way through it. And I bet at least that Berry Weiss at 4.7. Like, I don't know what PBR is or what Coors is, but
A lot of them are like 3.9, 4.0.
so the Berry Weiss is definitely more alcoholic, but tastes way, way better, in my opinion.
Marginally different, just so much better.
Marginally would mean not much.
No, okay, exponentially.
There,
Better.
I
we
like
go.
that.
That's the.
By a large margin, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I misheard him. There's
Pac-Man
no way.
would drink these beers.
Come again?
Pac-Man
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Mrs. Pac-Man. Both of them. Blood, 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 blood. Yes.
Okay, so what do we got here? The Summer Shandy?
Yeah, that's like Leinenkugel, I think, is like go-to product that I think most people have probably had or is most familiar with.
This smells great. It smells lemony.
Oh yeah, very lemony.
Holy shit.
Not tart at all. It's
That
real
is so
smooth.
It's
tasty.
carbonated lemonade. I mean, to
Carbonated
me, that's what
lemonade.
it is
Yeah.
with alcohol.
It's good though. Don't get me wrong.
Weiss
Like this
beer.
goes down real easy.
I forget at one point they told me it's one of the top seller, if not one of the top sellers for summer beers of like the.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean they just kill it all summer. I mean that's
I mean,
spread
hell,
out-
it's in the name. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
summer
this one's
Shandy.
phenomenal.
It's super crushable too.
oh yeah.
I can't seem to find alcohol content. I'm looking. I'm going to keep
It's
looking.
on the top there.
4.2%. But yeah, what would you say? Carbonated lemonade? That's
With alcohol.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
I wish it had more lemon. Like, it's not sour at all, and I think that will appeal to most people. But I really like sour food, so I wish it were more sour. But I feel like I might be in the minority.
When I
that
think
one.
of lemon, I think of a tartness, and
Yeah.
this tastes like a lemon cake or a lemon snack. You know
Imagine
what I
if they
mean?
made this into a sour beer though. That wouldn't
I
be
would
that
be down
bad
for
at
it.
all.
I'd be down for
honestly.
it. I've been drinking a lot of sour beer lately,
Yeah.
and they all kind of blend after you keep drinking them. There's
There's
just so much
just
sourness.
a tartness to them, and once you get to that point, that's all you taste is the
Yeah.
tartness.
And we're getting ready to go pick up. We're getting ready to go pick up more sours. There's way too many. We need to get down. We all need to get down to the wood shop at Uplands. They've got, I think, 20 different sours on tap, and it's wild. Like that
is wild.
was when I realized, I'm like, holy shit! Like there are different ways to do sours that aren't just going to taste tart. So I think we've got one more beer.
Yeah, and you can go ahead, Nick, if you'd like.
Which one is this? Which one do
This
we have
is
here?
the Summer Shandy, and then what we did is we took the Rubaeus from Founders that we had on tap and then mixed them. So it's a little raspberry lemonade
Raspberry
action.
lemonade.
All right.
God, that sounds awesome.
Dig in.
All right, let's get to it.
Well, it's not bad at all.
That's very tasty.
That's been one of the fun things we've been doing lately is kind of mixing beers and seeing
Yeah.
what goes with what. And Summer Shandy's probably another fun beer to mix with a lot of other different beers.
You should throw that up on the menu for people to see. Say like a raspberry lemonade beer or raspberry lemonade shandy.
So as soon as we get Shandy on tap, for sure, we're going
That
to
sounds awesome.
we're going to be putting that up with the
Almost
Rubaeus.
tastes like a soda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, go ahead.
I do drink raspberry lemonade. Lemonade, it's my preferred method of drinking lemonade. And pretty reasonable imitation.
Yeah.
With added benefits, of course.
Right. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, the other beer that we didn't have today that I would definitely tell people to go out and try from Leinenkugel is their Sunset Wheat. It literally smells like Fruity Pebbles. It almost tastes like Fruity Pebbles. So we don't have any Sunset Wheat today, but I would tell anyone out there listening to go get you some Sunset Wheat.
Fruity Pebbles was always my favorite cereal. It was my go-to.
I was more of a Cocoa Pebbles kind of guy.
Cocoa Pebbles all the way.
See?
Cocoa Pebbles.
There you go.
Porque no los dos?
That is true.
But
I don't
why?
know if I don't have a memory of mixing them, but that might be chocolate and fruit. I do it
come on.
nowadays, with like chocolatey stouts and with fruity beers.
People
you
buy,
mix them.
$30 bouquets of fruits dipped in chocolate. So,
Absolutely.
It's
got
so
a point.
funny because everything you guys just said, I was in my head thinking, am I or am I not going to get Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles on the way home
Right.
tonight?
Right.
Like, that's all I kept
about
thinking
it.
was, when was the last time I ate that for breakfast?
Oh, I know. That used to
The
be
answer
the
is
go-to.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I haven't had cereal for breakfast in I don't know how many years. Usually my breakfast is a cup of coffee.
So I guess in conclusion, this beer reminds us of Fruity Pebbles.
And
I do like the flavor. It is very tart and sweet.
And I think the one thing we can agree on, because at least Corey brought it up several different times, like these beers bring back nostalgia. Leinenkugel has found a way to make us think about better times, or times of the past, which are sometimes better.
It's all in the formula, bro.
It's in the, what is Leinenkugel's tagline? Making you think about childhood.
Well, the other
I
is
don't
when
think-
it's cold and crappy in Indiana and you're looking at a can with people skiing on a lake.
Reminds
and
you of
tubing.
summer.
Yeah, I'm instantly in on any of that.
So what we like to do, Corey, because you've never been on an episode, at the end of the episode, we like to tell everybody what we think was our favorite beer of the night. Does anybody know offhand?
Barry Weiss.
The Berry Weiss? The Berry Weiss is phenomenal. And I guess I will go with that as well, because by itself was my favorite. But if we're counting this lemon shandy rubaeus mixture, this is my favorite, because damn, that's good.
Yeah, of all the beers, that is the bee's knees. But if I had to choose a Leinenkugel beer, it would have to be the Summer Shandy.
The Summer Shandy, that's
Yeah.
a good pick. That's a good pick.
It's a great summer beer, great shower beer. too.
It is a shower beer. That
It's
is
totally-
exactly what it
it is
is.
Totally a
Shower
shower
beer.
beer.
A shower beer is a
It's
beer that you can drink while in the shower. And
Oh, that's a thing.
so real.
It's a thing.
if-
Oh, yeah.
okay. So I wouldn't drink like a big heavy stout in the shower. I wouldn't do that. I need something that is as refreshing as the water coming down on me, and a light beer does
How do you
that.
keep your beer cold while you're showering?
You drink it fast. You drink it fast.
Good answer.
That's up to you guys then. Corey, Susan, what are your favorites?
After some deliberation, I think I must go with the grapefruit shandy. It does have a lot of nostalgia factor, which is a bias and bonus in my book for certain.
Both.
But I just love the flavor of grapefruits, and
Yeah.
this one has
And it was
definitely
strong.
got it in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was.
But not in an overpowering sense like the raw fruit. It doesn't destroy my tongue at all in comparison to the acidic of the fruit.
I think that they were able to capture the grapefruit taste in that beer better than the lemon flavor in the shandy, in the summer shandy, that is.
Yeah.
Whereas, like Susan brought up, it kind of leaves you wanting just a little more lemon, a little more tartness. I think the grapefruit had a good amount of grapefruit. What do you think, Susan? What's your favorite?
Actually, my favorite was the Berry Weiss. I thought it was even better than the mix.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was just lighter, and the mix just, it just, I don't know. It was a weird amalgamation, and it was great, but it was just didn't have the wholesomeness, I guess, of the Berry Weiss.
Yeah, I agree. The Berry Weiss, like I said, that's got the nostalgia factor for me, because it was one of the first beers that I really, really enjoyed. Even though looking back now, there was a time when I was frowned at for it. They're like, "That's not real beer, Nick." I'm like, "Yes, it is." They're like, "It doesn't taste like beer." I'm like, "But it is."
That's not the
And
point.
now I'm like, "Yeah, I know it doesn't really taste like beer, but that's not always a bad thing." So
some people like to torture themselves and call it macho or something.
Is that part of that toxic masculinity thing that's been going around for a couple
it
centuries?
seems probable that might be part of it, but like
Something
don't
to do with it.
torment yourself. Enjoy your beer. Like that's why you should be like drinking it.
And it's not very often that we get to end an episode on a good feel and a good thing to take home with you guys.
Positivity.
So don't care what people say about the beer you drink. Just fucking enjoy it, right?
Agreed.
So thank you, Zach, Corey, Susan, for coming on.
Thanks for having us. It's fun, as always.
Zach, it's always fun. I hope you guys had a good first experience.
Most definitely.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Casey, thanks again for having us down, for hosting these tap takeovers. They're always a blast.
You're welcome.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more in the coming months.
Please, more.
So, until next time, thanks again to the Journey into Comics Network for hosting Brews with Dudes. If you like us, invite your friends, share it, tell all your craft beer drinking friends to get down on the Brews with Dudes. Until next time, thanks for listening.